you go. While Jack's away, it's my turn to dance. My turn to play. You won't stand a chance.
Welcome into another Sunday live stream. Let me make sure everything's on. Okay, everything's on. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing on this Sunday? It is the end of the week for me and her. Thankfully. Wasn't sure if we were gonna do one today, originally, but we decided to. Just to talk about some things. This isn't going to be a long stream. I said that last time, but they made a long stream. It isn't going to be a long stream today. We're just going to be talking about some things. But how is everyone doing? I see we have a few people in the chat. Alright, so there's a few things I wanted to go over before we get into the discussion today. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be talking about, HHN 32, like this whole channel already does. But we're going to be talking about specifically when are we going to get our next announcement. But before we do that, I want to talk about a few things. So let me get that ready for you and drop you over here. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is we made some playlists. If you want to get in the HHN32 mood, I mean, it's not that long now till we're actually at opening night. We did make some Spotify playlists to kind of hype you up with some certain things. I want to show you them today in the live stream. They are public. You can feel free to add them to your library in Spotify, and the link for them are in the description below. But we got two here. First one is the Fiends in the Fog. Basically, that is the overall playlist. Basically, diving into what is going to be at this year or speculated to be at this year so far, with a little, twist on them. For example, we have Master of Puppets on this playlist, like Stranger Things. Then we have the Welcome to the Black Parade, which is usually featured in Nightmare Fuel. Then we have Let the Chaos Reign, things like that. These are things that were in Nightmare Fuel. But one of my favorites that we did find for this playlist is the Last of Us theme, but a metal version. If you haven't listened to it yet, if you haven't followed onto this playlist yet, this song sounds exactly like Horror Nights. It sounds so much like the music they play throughout the event. But there is a bunch of other things in here, like the Stranger Things metal cover, Exorcist metal, kind of these Burn the Witch, alluding to maybe a speculated house this year. Game of Thrones theme, maybe. Obviously, we're not getting a Game of Thrones house, but if you've been around, it's speculated to go on with dragons and medieval and things like that. Devil Went Down to Georgia metal version, something that is also speculated this year if you've been around. Then we have, your classic kind of Inside the Machine, which was featured at HHN 30. Have Dragula by Rob Zombie, Living Dead Girl, Blinding Lights because of The Weeknd last year. Then we have maybe some circusy kind of themed music by Ice Nine Kills. If you aren't familiar with that band, that is a band that makes horror movie songs. And we have a few of their songs. And then one of my favorite HHN songs from HHN 29, The Day I Lost You, is also on here as well. So that is the first playlist we have available for you guys if you want to be hyped up for HHN 32. We do have a second playlist here that Amber made. This is basically the Taylor Swift version of the first playlist. Fiends in the Fog, Amber's version, with a little more like pop. I don't know. Do you want to describe what this is?
I can, but it doesn't make sense. I was just trying to make HHN like girly pop, but a little less of the metal, more of the poppy girly music.
Yes. So that's basically what this one is, with obviously, Blinding Lights in this one as well. And maybe something that is very interesting that I'm highlighting right here. And then we have some, Ingrid Michaelson that did a Stranger Things cover album of some certain things. But yeah, both of those links are in the description. Basically, it's just to generate hype for HHN. I know we're kind of thirsty for announcements right now, so this is what we got for you. Second thing I want to talk about is this here. Obviously, this is the channel page. You've seen this before, obviously. But now we have a new button here. This is the join button to become a member of the channel. It is a paid subscription kind of service to get exclusive content from us. You may have seen it kind of swiping through in the starting screen if you've been around since the beginning of this. But we do have members of the channel now called the Haunted Homies. So if you want to become a Haunted Homie, you can join, receive exclusive content. Basically, you're going to get one of the things we'll be doing once we get some members. We're going to start doing after parties for these live streams. Basically, where we go deep and talk about some things we want you to know, our members to know, that maybe we don't want the general public to know about HHN. Obviously, we know some stuff that we haven't said, but, if you want to become part of that, we will have after parties exclusively for you guys to talk about. Another thing we might do, depending on what's going on during HHN 32, if you are a member, we might do a member meetup at the event to actually go marathon some houses together. Obviously, it's going to be only exclusive to members, but maybe we'll pick a day out of the year that we're going to the event to just do a members only night with you guys. But obviously, we want to meet up with all of you, so you don't have to necessarily be a member to receive that. But we do have a bunch of different tiers. Basically, the more you are subscribed, the longer you're subscribed into this member program here, you will become a bigger and more flourishing pumpkin as your icon. But it's something for you to check out. Obviously, do what's available for you fund-wise. If you don't want to, that's fine. Your support here is just enough. But just wanted to tell you guys about that. One more thing I wanted to talk about is this little number right here. Can I highlight it? Yes, I can. This number right here. We are at 979 subscribers as of right now. I haven't refreshed it in a few minutes. But that means we only need 21 more subscribers to reach 1K. That is amazing, guys. We've only been doing this for 4 months, and honestly dived into HHN, the HHN content a little less than 3 months ago. I mean, it was like 2 months. But can we get to 1K before August? That gives us a week. I'm going to set that goal for us. Let's see if we can reach 1K subscribers before August. If we do, if we reach 1K, I will release a video or I'll talk about it in a future live stream. We'll be doing an HHN giveaway. We have a few things that we're going to want to give away. We will have 3 winners of this giveaway. I'll get more into the details later of exactly what it is, but on how to really get into see what it's, all about. But we're going to be giving away 3 things. 2 of them are Stranger Things themed, and 1 is an past HHN shirt. That's all I will say for right now. Let's reach 1K, and I'll talk about it more. Basically, that's what I wanted to touch on first today, just to see all that. And join the Discord. Obviously, that's a thing that is happening. It's cool over there on Discord. We have a bunch of stuff going on. We have a bunch of people talking in the HHN chat. And there's always, little things I talk about in there when I can pop in, and she talks about when she can pop in. And that's a lot of where I'll put some certain info, like I said, that I don't want to the public. Oh, another thing, I completely forgot. With the members, if you do join the members, we will have an exclusive Discord channel for you. So you can talk one-on-one with us, more than you already do, about some certain things, like I said, that I don't necessarily want too public to know, because I want to keep some things as a surprise for you guys that we may know or we may not know. But that's what I want to talk about first and foremost. Anyway, I will stop ranting about all these little promotion things and we will get back to this. All right. So, welcome everybody to this Sunday live stream. Welcome Chris, welcome 228, welcome Weekend Tacos, welcome everybody that is watching. Feel free to type in the chat. I am a big reader of the chat. If you didn't tune into the last live stream, I do read the chat. So if you want to talk about some things, if you want some questions answered about HHN, I will gladly do that for you. But the title of this live stream is, when is the next Halloween Horror Nights 2023 announcement? Obviously, we don't know. We can just speculate. Obviously, what I say in any of my videos or on Discord or on a live stream isn't always true. I get my information from people that couldn't be credible or could be. I mean, nothing's official until HHN announces it, until Universal announces it. But what I'm hearing as far as announcements go, right? What I'm hearing is this week. Take that with a grain of salt, obviously, but I'm hearing this week may be time for an announcement. I don't know how true that is. Don't know what exactly could be announced. I've heard a few different things. I won't say what they are. Like I said, I want to keep some things secret. But I did hear that we would possibly get an announcement Thursday, potentially. Obviously, we don't know this. I will continue to say that with everything I say today. We don't know this. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you've been around the channel long enough, I made a video like a month ago. I think it was before the Last of Us announcement, that I heard we were getting an announcement like the next day. That didn't happen. We didn't have an announcement for 3 weeks after that video. That video is still on my channel if you want to see how wrong I was. But yeah, just expect maybe this week. Maybe an IP is all I will say. Maybe. But what I want to know is what you guys think this announcement will be, or what you think the announcement schedule is going to be for the rest of, this speculation announcement season. Because we are less than 2 months from the event. We have roughly 40 days or so until opening night. Depends on when you go, basically, is how long it's going to be for you. But yeah, it's less than 2 months. So I'm very curious how they're going to plan out their announcement schedule going forward. Good live stream last week, thank you. Though a Siren Zone is now rumored to fill in at San Francisco, but I hope we can get an original Krampus house for next year. Yes, okay. So that's one thing I did want to talk about today. Obviously, I don't know if this is true. And I guess this is a good time to dive into it because I didn't want to talk about it. So the San Francisco zone, the one that is speculated to be Krampus as far as we know, has changed. Possibly. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. But it's possible, like like 2228 said, sirens is possibly a thing that could be going into the San Francisco scare zone, or more of a shipwreck kind of vibe. Like I said, I won't say exactly what we might or might not know, but I don't know. It's very interesting because usually Horror Night Nightmares is spot on with how late in the season they make their speculation maps. But, you know, who knows what that Krampus zone, if that was even a Krampus zone to start off with.
Because given the photo that was on the map was just a pair of horns, and we all ran with it.
Exactly. But there is a lot more construction going on right now. If you see my last one, that is completely outdated now that I made like 4 days ago. Completely outdated. They have brand new trusses up, brand new lighting up. A lot is going on. But let's see here. It will be around noon. I work for them. Yeah, usually it's around noon. The announcements come. How about Haunt said, I'm assuming that Orlando will get their next announcement either Thursday or maybe next Sunday. Hollywood gets a house announcement a week from today at Midsummer Scream, so who knows? Yeah, John Murdy is going to announce something at Midsummer Scream for Hollywood. I don't think it's going to be dual coast an announcement. I think it's going to be an original. If it's not an original, it could be dual coast, and I might know what that is, depending on what he did last year, basing that off of that. I believe it was last year he did this. I don't know if it was John Murdy that talked about it, but at Midsummer Scream, I believe they did talk about a house. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think we've got an announcement dropping this week as well. I'm thinking it'll be big IP like The Exorcist. Oh, Nerd Squish is in the chat. What's up? Yes. From what I'm hearing, is basically IP Thursday, possibly. It's potentially happening. I will never confirm anything like that because I don't work for Universal. I get my information just like you guys do. But that's what I'm hearing. Possibly, there's a potential for Thursday, is all I'll say. And then August, how I'm seeing the announcement schedule happening, and I'll get into this now. This is something I wanted to talk about as well. How I'm seeing the house announcements happening this year, as far as we're going to get another IP. Possibly. We're going to get another IP announced, and that might be the one that may be announced on potentially Thursday. Besides that, it's going to be very interesting based on the speculation that's going on. Because if some of these things are coming to the event, let's get into it. Like if Megan Horde is coming, if The Exorcist is coming, if the Universal Monsters are coming, I apologize if you can hear my cat in the back meowing at the door.
He's so mad.
But if these things are coming, do you think these are things that will be their own separate announcements, right? Or are we going to get, which is something I was talking to her about the other day, with 30, they dropped Bride of Frankenstein Lives and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre announcement in one day. They did a dual announcement day. They dropped 2. Do we think dual announcements can come back? Do we think that is a thing that is possible? So, what else we got here? I think the Monsters is the next announcement for this week as the safest bet. Yes, that is very possible. I won't say if that's true or not. All we can do is speculate. Obviously, I don't know for sure. I don't work for Universal, but yeah. So it'll probably be a Hollywood original, considering that's how it's been for the past few years, not counting 2020. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as that goes. This isn't rumored. Can we get a Sleep Token house? Dude,
please.
Can you go up to Universal and tell them to do that? Because I would love that.
Me
Sleep Token would be
too.
amazing at the event. But that's a good point. Dual announcement, big possibility, especially this late in the game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Dual announcements might be a way to go because of all the IPs you still have to announce if these things are coming. If The Exorcist is coming, if Megan... I feel like they would announce Megan Horde maybe in her own announcement, maybe. Before they do the big dump, because obviously that's happening, right? We know it's at that point. It's too late to announce originals by themselves, I feel like. We're gonna get the house dump like we usually do. I don't know how I feel about it, if I'm being honest. Like, it's great to have a bunch of announcements, I guess, all at once in one big video. But, I don't know. I liked when they used to announce originals by themselves. That's just me. Another thing I want to speculate here is the icon, right? Usually with icons, at least as far as I've been going to the event, right? Or even as far as I've researched into the event, icons are announced usually before houses, right? Before most, right? Before the originals, before certain IPs, there's an icon, right? There's something, a whole overall theme to the event, right? What do we think is going on with this icon announcement? Are we getting an icon announcement? Because with Pumpkin Lord, we all know what happened there if you've gone last year. If you haven't gone, then you'd have no idea. But last year, Pumpkin Lord is the icon, right? And he was clearly the icon. Everything was connected to him. Every house was his roots growing into him and things like that. But he didn't get his own announcement, right? He didn't get like a Jack the Clown announcement or a Bloody Mary announcement like that's happened before. Or even just Fear or something like that. He was basically not even in the big commercial, right? He wasn't in the big commercial for the event. It was them just attending Horror Nights, running into Michael Myers and with a weekend, and then a Reaper. It's like he wasn't even shown in the commercials. And I don't know if there was a reason they didn't put him in there, didn't promote him as the icon like you normally see. But do we think this icon... I don't know why I'm being secret about it. Do we think Dr. Oddfellow is going to be marketed? Like, or are we getting the Pumpkin Lord treatment for him? Because that's something I've been thinking about, and one of my favorite parts of Horror Nights, right, is the icons. It's the icons. Like, I'm wearing an icon shirt. That looked like it was swallowing me. I have no head or neck.
It looks like Fear's head is your neck.
Fear's my neck. Sorry. But I'm a big sucker for the icons, right? That's my favorite parts of the events. Whenever they have houses, like in 30, HHN Icons Captured was my most favorite, like my most anticipated house going into that. Like, we rushed that house when we went, I think. Right? No, we hit Bride first.
We hit Bride, but then we booked it to
We
Icons.
booked it to Icons. And she personally went through Icons like 30 times, right? More than that? How much?
I don't know. It's in my notes somewhere.
But I love the icons, and I mean, I think it's maybe based on because the first year I went was 25. That was the first year I attended, and so Jack was the big icon. He had his own house, and that was my first time going into this world of HHN. And I just feel like I feel like those icons should be marketed, and like, I don't know if that's happening. Like, are we getting the Pumpkin Lord's treatment again for Oddfellow? Because if you know who Oddfellow is, right? He is integral to the lore of HHN. He is what happened before Jack essentially did his thing, right? And I don't know. I feel like he was... I don't know. He's a big part of the lore, and I feel like Pumpkin Lord, I guess, he wasn't expected to be popular, right? Wicked Growth happened, and everyone gravitated towards him. Kind of like Lil Boo, right? No one expected... Universal didn't expect that to happen. But when you have an already cemented character like Dr. Oddfellow in the lore of your most popular icon, Jack, and you're not going to market him yet? This late into the event, you're not marketing your icon? Putting him on billboards? Putting him on tickets? Putting him in, like, Publix with the standees?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I wish they would do that again.
And that, like, just gives me the concern that what some people are saying about the possibility of him literally just having a house and just not even necessarily being an icon.
Yeah.
Just kind of, I don't know, I'm worried that that's what's gonna happen, and it bums me out a little bit because I like the hype of having, like, an icon.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm very, very interested to see what's going to go on with this icon this year. And I hope, like, even more so, I hope he doesn't get the Pumpkin Lord in the park treatment. Like, I don't want him confined to a bubble, right? I don't want him outside of, like, a tent or something just standing there as guests walk by. Like, I want him to be cemented into it. Like, it's speculated he's going to have his own house, right? It's speculated he has his own thing going on. Yet, I don't know. We don't know what's going on, obviously. We might be entirely wrong, you know? Maybe this Thursday announcement is an icon. Or maybe they're waiting until the big commercial to put him in there. which that's fine as long as you market him.
I
As
just
far
want Oddfellow content. That's all I'm asking.
So do I, because that Dr. Oddfellow house would be my most anticipated house, you know. But we'll see. What else we got here? We've had several years without icons in the later year. I'm thinking if we're getting one, it's tied into the Jack story. Not sure we're getting one though. Yeah, it's very, I don't know. There's been so much talk about Oddfellow. There was the leak of the I Follow Oddfellow thing, in the Discovery Universal website. So it's just, I don't know. We'll see. The house dump is def happening. I would rather we have separate announcements, but at least we're getting them. I would also love for Hollywood to get an icon other than Hollywood Harry. Yeah, I think, as far as I know, John Murdy was creating an original icon for Hollywood. I don't know if this, I don't know much about HHN Hollywood, so I don't know if this Hollywood Harry, who he is, if I'm being honest. But I hear from the grapevine, basically, that there is going to be a crafted icon. I wish you guys got the icons like Orlando did, like, for you guys to have your own lore, this whole kind of anniversary, when you have your anniversary years, you'd have your icon events, things like that. That'd be really cool. I feel like both coasts, I feel like, honestly, all the HHN should have their own, you know, unique icons, right? Stranger Things House Alone is a sweet deal. Yeah, Stranger Things basically is what's going to drive everybody, right? They announced the big IPs first, despite Chucky, right? Because, I mean, Chucky is big on his own, but compared to Stranger Things and Last of Us, they announced us first for a reason. That's their big draw. That's when they're going to get the general people in. Like, an icon may not bring everyone in all at first, because they're going to be like, okay, hello, Scream, cool. They have icons. But the Stranger Things and the Last of Us is going to bring people that don't know what HHN is, or, you know, that did go to the Stranger Things years without icons and really like those years. Because you gotta think how big The Last of Us wasn't huge, right? When it was a video game, it wasn't as huge as it was when the HBO show came out, right? But the HBO show came out with Pedro Pascal, and that thing blew up. That thing was huge. And then you take into account Stranger Things 4 last year was massive. Like, honestly, that was one of the most popular seasons of Stranger Things to possibly happen to the show. Like, the whole Eddie, Vecna, the new horror aspect to that season brought in so many people. Like, I remember seeing TikToks of just, like, crowds at Comic-Cons just all dressed up as Eddie. Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy how popular that I almost said event, that season was last year. So announcing those two first, yes, that was very smart. How late they announced it, I mean, interesting. You know, whatever, but I don't know. I feel like the next move is to, you know, do one for the fans, right? Because HHN, the creatives know that there's a fandom behind their event. Like, I'm not just saying that. There's a video on YouTube where Michael talks about how HHN has a massive fandom behind it. You can find it, I believe it was 2018 or something like that. He was talking about it. It's on the Horror Nights channel. They know they have a fandom, right? They know their fandom gravitates towards icons. They saw how popular Icons Captured was in 30, right? They saw how popular Wicked Growth was, that they put an icon, Pumpkin Lord, as, you know, an icon, right? So I feel like the next one should be for the fans. You know, you have your general populated crowd coming in with Stranger Things and Last of Us. I feel like the next one should be Oddfellow, right? I don't know. I'm not Universal. I don't know how to market, but Icon's house was fire. Yes, it was. It absolutely was. You know, besides when Caretaker would win.
What do you have against
Not Caretaker.
Caretaker?
No, not Caretaker. Storyteller. My
Okay,
bad.
what do you have against her?
You're telling me? Never. Just started following you, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Robert. Icons might be only anniversaries now since are in the IP years. Listen, if they can do IP years right, great. Just don't give us the Walking Dead situation. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But I don't know. I'm very interested on what's going to be going on with this announcement season. As far as I am speculating, probably this week is a good potential for an announcement. If not, then I'm completely wrong. That's how I see it at this point. We will know everything September 1st.
It took me a second to realize what September 1st was. I was like, why then?
We'll know everything September 1st. So announcements by September 1st. Or not. Or you'll walk into the event and not know what's going on. You know, who knows?
Not us.
Technically the IPs are the icons too. The idea of it never really went away. It just changes over time yearly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Walking Dead was essentially the icon of, you know, the early 20s, right? After Lady Luck. Then Stranger Things, honestly, was the icon of 2018, 2019. But, like, I don't know. We'll see what goes on as far as icon-wise this year. I just get so interested into it because I am such a sucker for them. I'm a big icon fan, so I'm always interested when they do an originally crafted icon rather than an IP, you know, really headlining the event. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. One thing I want to talk about today is everything I see, you know, everybody's going crazy on Twitter about something right now. And I have it. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is fake. If you know what's going on Twitter, shifting gears here for a second, there's potentially a leak, you know, going around. You know, as we get so many leaks, right, that totally turn out to be true. I'm going to pull it up and basically show you guys what this is real quick. If you know what I'm talking about, you already know, but this is what I'm talking about. This was supposedly leaked on Twitter, and I'm going to tell you right now, with at least 75% certainty, this is fake. Now, these house names are interesting, because I've heard them being tossed around a little. You know, these specific names of these houses, right? I've seen get tossed around a little. But, I don't know. Something about this seems fake to me, right? And I'll dive into why. If I turn out to be wrong and this is actually a real picture or whatever's going on here. But let's look into it, right? For example, when you have IP houses, right? Let's start with this. We'll start with The Last of Us up here, Stranger Things 4, and Chucky. I didn't say what this was. This is a leaked houses, apparently. House promo or something, or shirt, or something going on, right? So let's start with the IPs. IPs usually, besides the acceptance of Stranger Things, as far as I know, IPs usually just aren't called their IPs. Like, for example, Last of Us. Do you think The Last of Us is just going to be called The Last of Us? That's what I'm curious about, right? Could be. They've done it with Stranger Things. They've done it with a few other IPs. But certain IPs, you usually don't just get the base name. Like, you'll get The Last of Us, Look for the Light, or something like that, right? I'm not saying that's a house name at all. But you'll get Last of Us, you know, then Look for the Light. Or it's like a sub name, essentially. Stranger Things, I can get behind Stranger Things being called Stranger Things 4. That's fine. You're telling me Chucky is just called Chucky? I don't think that. If you look at HHN 19, Chucky was not called Chucky. It was called Chucky something. I can't remember what it was. But we'll just start with that, okay? Exorcist, okay. I could see that being called The Exorcist. They've done it before. It's been called The Exorcist. Then in Hollywood, called The Exorcist. Megan's not a house. I can tell you with at least 95% chance certainty. 95% certainty. I don't know how to say that. But
Same difference.
Megan is not going to be a house. And if they did a Megan house, it would be a Blumhouse house. It'd be the Horrors of Blumhouse featuring Megan and something else, right? Insidious, potentially, you know, something like that. But as far as we've speculated, Megan is just a horde in Springfield, right? As far as we know, obviously we don't know for sure, but okay, we'll just start with that. Then we're going to get into some originals here. Also, notice the house count here, first of all. But then we get Dueling Dragons. Choose Your Fate, Choose Thy Fate, I believe is the underneath. Cool. If it's called that, great. But this font, I don't know. It's interesting, right? Because I feel like I've seen these. Like, usually Horror Nights is pretty good with their house, you know, pictures, like the designs of the logo of the house. They usually don't feel like fonts off of defont.com, right? I don't know. But we have Dueling Dragons, Choose Thy Fate. Then we have Blood Moon Dark Offerings. Now, these are names, like, I won't lie, these are names that are being tossed around right now. Like the whole Blood Moon Dark Offerings, Dueling Dragons, Darkest Steel. These are things that are actually being tossed around right now. Obviously, we don't know if they're true. We don't know exactly what's going on as far as who got the names or who got these quote-unquote names from Universal, if they are true. But then you have Blood Moon Dark Offerings. What is this PNG moon? Right? And what is this font that I've definitely used before?
Yeah.
Like, I know this exact font. I have it saved on my computer. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Blood Moon Dark Offerings, cool. Then you have Dr. Oddfellow. I really can't tell what the underneath says because it's such a grainy photo, right? Has to be because it's a leak, right? It's supposed to be terrible quality. You have Dr. Oddfellow, something underneath. I can't tell what it says. But again, I have seen this font, right? On defont.com as Carnival fonts. Like,
No, like I swear in like 5th grade, my teacher probably used that as like her own little paperwork to put on the bulletin board. Like I've seen this font a million times.
yes. This is fake, guys. Like, if you're going to use Dr. Oddfellow, if you're going to create a leak, like make a fake leak, use the font that's on already the Dr. Oddfellow stuff. Like he had a previous, Dr. Oddfellow's Fear House. You had Dr. Oddfellow's, Carnival Thrills, the big old, like, wagon or whatever it was in the tribute store, I think it was. Use the font from that to make it look more realistic, right? Okay. Next thing would be the Darkest Steel. This would be the, bluesy Devil Went Down to Georgia house, right? The font is actually okay for this one. I'm okay with this. This is fine. Still very basic in terms of what Horror Nights could do. But sure, you have the Darkest Steel. Where is, a certain house, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses on here. And people are speculating, they're like, this leak is the house shirt, right? If you're going to do a house shirt,
I don't think it's going to have trees on it.
Well, not only that, but if you're going to do a house shirt, and it's going to exclude a house, right? Like we've seen it in the past. Weekend wasn't on a shirt, right? Mm-hmm. Weekend wasn't on last year's shirt. If you're going to leave a house out, it won't be an original, first of all. It'll be like, say Stranger Things wants their own specific merch. They have a contract with Universal, with Halloween Horror Nights, to have their own specific merch. So they leave Stranger Things off of the house shirt with the other houses. The other IPs all combined together, right? Usually, it's IPs left off of a house shirt, Mm-hmm. You're telling me the Bigfoot or quote-unquote Yeti house is being left off of this house shirt or this promo here? Where's that at? We're missing a house here. Okay? Next thing. I'm really debunking this right now.
You know what else is missing over here?
What?
Universal Monsters.
Oh yeah, Universal Monsters is also missing.
And why
Wait,
would that be
1,
missing?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Because they put Megan in as a house.
Oh yeah, Megan.
So it seems like there's enough
Yeah.
that's missing to
So you're
speculate.
you're telling me they're leaving out Universal Studios is leaving out Universal Monsters? Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about, if this is merch, quote unquote. This is leaked merch. They took a picture somehow of this shirt that is not wrinkled whatsoever. And this is it. All their merch of this year has said Halloween Horror Nights. Hasn't said Universal Orlando, I believe, on the top. I don't think so.
I'm 100% sure.
Halloween Horror Nights, and it would have the 2023 drippy font on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just promo, it would.
Everything's had like the blood drips.
It's had the drippy, even like starting with the See You in the Fog merch, had the drippy 2023. And the last thing I want to talk about here is we know how good the artists at Universal are. We know how good, if this is merch or even just, a promo image, we know how good Universal's team is. They have specific people that create designs for HHN. You're telling me, did those guys, take a day off and put a stock photo of a woods behind it? Like, what? This is fake, guys. This is fake. I just wanted to get on here and, everyone's freaking out about this on Twitter. There's people thinking it's real. It's not. It's not. If this is, then cool. Whatever. This is what's going on.
We're going to have to make an apology video.
Yeah. I'll take out my ukulele. But... I honestly, I don't think this is real, right? Are we all in agreement on this here? I haven't looked at chat in a second. Are we all in agreement?
Pretty much, I think.
Yeah, you look at chat for me. Are we all in agreement here? This is fake.
Yeah. Pretty much everyone's saying the same thing, you know? Leaving off monsters is kind of crazy considering that it's universals. And then Nerd Squish just said preach, so I think that means that we're all kind of on the same page.
Yes, I believe I just went on a rant there for a second, but
Yeah, just some water.
Oh, thank you. Talk about something.
I don't like when you do that to me. You just went on like a really long, not scientific, really long, thoughtful rant.
It's okay, I'm back.
You carry this.
But yeah, this is wow. My voice just improved drinking that water.
You just drank like most of my water. There's like nothing left in this cup.
Yeah. Okay. So we all agree this is fake. Okay. If I ever think anything is real, guys, if we get a leak or something and I think it's real, trust me, I will let you know. Right. I stay pretty much on top of anything HHN on Twitter, on Discord, on anything. Like, I have my people I talk to about it. Like, obviously, we don't know how good sources are nowadays. But if anything at all leaks, first of all, if you don't hear from me, Horror Night Nightmares will put something. I know if you've been around HHN long enough, if there's a leak, Horror Night Nightmares will post a gif of a leak happening. A physical water spouting. That's when something is, you know, it feels more real. Obviously, it may not still be real at that point, but it feels more authentic if you have big names like Horror Night Nightmares, you know, covering it. But I will let you guys know if anything like that is real. But yes, this is fake. If it's not, you know, strike me down. That's how I say it. Because, I don't know. If it's real, I'll say this. If this is real, they fired the whole artist team. Like, they went to Microsoft Paint for this. That's all I'll say. My thumbnails are more... No, I'm not gonna.
But it's supposed to be bad quality. It's a leak.
Yeah, it's a leak, guys. Because, you know, it isn't a leak unless you can look through pixels, right? But no, this is fake. Now that we covered this, I just wanted to say that. Because that's all I'm seeing on my Twitter.
Yeah. And
it's crazy. It's crazy, right? But, yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about today. Because I was thinking about it when I was setting up the stream today. The image is a big fat phony. Yes, it is. I agree. I also like your name.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Blip.
Lindsay a Blippy.
Yeah. But, how I always approach, like, leaks, or I approach, you know, speculations. If someone's saying they know something, take it with a grain of salt. And I will say this as much as I do HHN content, right? As long as I do it. For years and years and years, I will continue to say this every year. Take your sources with a grain of salt. Take your tweets, your content creators. Take me and her and any other HHN content creators you watch with a grain of salt. Because we honestly don't know confirmed anything, right? We can't confirm anything. We won't know something is true until Universal confirms it. Until there's an official announcement, then we don't know. But anyway, I just want to talk about that.
Yeah, we all love a good speculation, though.
Yeah, no. I appreciate the effort. I mean, someone definitely put their time into this.
Yeah.
They created this picture, and they obviously, you know, made it grainy. Like, they really tried.
They committed to making it grainy, too.
They did. I
Can't
really,
even read
I can't
what's
read
under
half
my
of the
rod
words
filler.
on there. But yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is as far as the speculation map for Horror Night Nightmares has gone, New York, as far as we knew, right, on the speculation map, was supposed to be Dark Zodiac or a Zodiac Scare Zone, speculated, right? Then we started seeing construction, we started seeing this stage being set up, this lighting, and then we had some, you know, some different thoughts about it. This is what I'm thinking at this point. I can't confirm anything, obviously, like I just said, but we do think Vamp 69, that speculated Scare Zone, is going to be actually transferred over into New York instead of the Zodiac. Zodiac, I believe, will go into Hollywood, as far as I know. I know in a lot of my previous videos, I talked about the Mel Show and how excited it could be to have the Mel Show back after not having it. I don't think there's going to be a Mel Show now. Just seeing that construction of that stage in New York. New York, I believe, is now going to be the home of that Vamp show as well. Kind of similar to what, you know, Vamp 85 did with their whole show up there. I think that's kind of the vibes we're getting this year. I still don't know if we're going to get a Lagoon show. I know Universal was testing that drone show, if you know anything about that. They were testing a drone show the other night that someone took a video of at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was owl.
Yeah, it's an owl or something. I don't think that's going to be for HHN.
Why not?
I just don't. Because I think they're just not, I feel like we would have gotten more pictures or videos of it if they were testing it before now, right?
Oh, I was referencing, I thought you meant that the owl wasn't for HHN.
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I meant the actual show.
I was just offended that you didn't think the owl was part of HHN.
Yeah, no, no.
I'm gonna go refill my water bottle real quick.
Okay, have fun. I will talk to the people. Bye. Alright,
I don't want to stand up in front of the camera.
go fill your water bottle.
Hold on.
Anyway, I wanted to do something too
I feel
today.
so awkward. I feel like no one's allowed to see my legs.
In the Discord today, I wanted to highlight a prediction map that was in there today. Another thing I wanted to talk about. Let me get this pulled up here. I wanted to take a look at that because it's very interesting. Like I said, if you haven't joined the Discord, I will drop a link in just a second. But I wanted to dive into this real quick. Let me get it pulled up here real quick. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Let me go here, and here, and here. And then I'll transfer you guys over real quick to here. Okay. So let's pop this up here. I wanted to take a look at this because I always am interested in what you guys think about certain things. Let me get this sized right though. There we go. Certain things I wanted to see what you guys think about. So I wanted to see this here. Okay. I got it pulled up now. All right.
Chair is so noisy.
So this was a prediction map done today and posted in the Discord that I wanted to talk about. This was done by Fear 2010, the Snaker. And I wanted to dive into it and see exactly what they have going on here. So this is basically the Horror Night Nightmare speculation map with his own predictions onto it. And I wanted to look at it. So obviously when Enter the Park, still the Carnival of Oddities Horde is still his prediction here. Then you have the Bigfoot house that he is predicting. I think as far as my predictions go, yes, that is 228. He is in chat. But yes, as far as predictions go, Bigfoot, I feel like is a pretty good prediction of what this house is. I know there's a few different predictions of what this is going to be. I know werewolf is one. Nerd Squish, I know you want a werewolf. I would love a werewolf, right? That would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Something that isn't directly the Wolfman, just an actual werewolf house. Yeah, I'd love that. But he speculates that Bigfoot is going to be at this /mark tree zone. He still believes not the coven, I'm skipping. He still believes the exorcist is happening. Then when that Salem witch trial house, he believes the coven is happening, which would be very interesting. I love witch houses. You may not agree with me, but I like Spirits of the Coven when it happened. That's just me. I like Spirits of the Coven. Not all people did, but I did. So having the Coven here, great. Stranger Things 4, obviously already confirmed. We know that. Then he believes Dueling Dragons. I agree. Dueling Dragons. In that house there. Chucky, obviously already announced. Then Dr. Oddfellow's Carnival of Thrills. I am complete agreement with that. We all believe that was a Dr. Oddfellow's Carnival of Thrills house. I am hoping it features Jack. That's just me personally. Then we have the Robert Johnson Crossroad Blues. It says Crossroad Blues. Yeah.
I don't know.
Terrible eyesight.
Me too.
Yes, I do believe the house that we're getting is based off of the Robert Johnson story. So yes, I agree there as well. Last of Us already confirmed. And Monsters Paris is staying the same. With the scare zones and hordes, like I said, Carnival of Oddities he still believes. Then he believes Dark Zodiac. I agree. I believe Dark Zodiac. I do feel like Vamp 69 and Dark Zodiac again have switched now. Then we have the sirens. Again, this is something I've been hearing a lot now too in the past few days, is sirens are replacing Krampus. We're getting some sort of shipwreck, sirens taking over zone. Don't know if that's true, but this is what he predicts. Okay. Death Eater stayed the same. Night again stayed the same. And Megan Horde stayed the same. Then we have the Jungle Scare Zone. He actually has a whole breakdown of what this zone, concept for this zone on our Discord. So if you want to join a Discord and go check that out, that's also in there. And then again, he believes the Vamp Show. I just wanted to highlight that. I wanted to highlight when I get things like this sent to me by you guys. I want to highlight some of your thoughts into what is going on with HHN. It's always cool. I'm a big fan of keeping a community, right? I'm keeping a community around HHN. We all enjoy going to this event. Obviously, no idea is wrong. No idea is crazy, right? Because Horror Nights, honestly, has done some crazy stuff. But we all have a mutual love for this event. So I just wanted to highlight that in today's live stream. Shout out to you. That was great. It's a great map. I agree with a lot that's on it. Honestly, everything that's on it, I basically agree with. But I wanted to highlight that on today's stream as well. So we're an hour in. But, so.
Me too.
So, as far as HHN goes, is there anything you guys want to highlight tonight as far as you... I love traditional witches. I don't care what it's called. Something close to Salem Witch Trials would be right in my wheelhouse. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Salem... Well, I guess that's a weird thing to say.
Not of the Salem Witch Trials.
I love the concept of, like, literature or, you know, like, movies, plays, whatever, houses about Salem Witch Trials, right? We went to Salem 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we got to go to the Salem Witch Museum, got to go to all the graves of the witches, quote unquote, right, that were burned or stoned or things like that. Excuse me. I'm very interested to see if that house is going to actually incorporate what is going on as far as like the real story behind the Salem Witch Trials, right? Because that's something I would love to see in the house. Because going to the Witch Museum in actual Salem, going to see the graves, see all the, you know, the statue of the witch there. If we could have that vibe inside a house and feel like I'm at Salem again, that'd be crazy, right? You agree?
I do agree.
Yeah. That I would love that.
I think it'd be just... Ugh, why did I stutter so hard just then?
You did.
It'd be strange, but kind of neat to have like a retelling of like the actual witch trial story within a house, because even though it wasn't as spooky wooky as it was made out to be, it's still kind of terrifying what happened.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm very interested to see what goes on in that house. You know, if it is this Blood Moon, Dark Offerings supposed name, I'm very interested to see, right? Did we have you know, the Blood Moon name does sound familiar, right? Was there a Blood Moon house before?
I don't know, because I know whenever like this all first started getting speculated, I was hearing a lot of Blood Cult and Blood Moon Ritual. So I'm not 100% sure, like, if there's been a house with a title like that or not before, but it definitely does sound very, very familiar.
No, I'm not seeing it. What is it? Blood?
Wait.
What? No.
Oh.
Blood... No, I'm thinking of something else. Blood Cult... I don't know what I'm thinking of. I don't know. It sounded familiar, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know, it does sound familiar, but then again, there's been a million different, like, cults, rituals, blood in titles of Horror Nights houses before, so...
We went on Friday from the last pics posted on Discord were no different, so I did not post them. Yeah, a lot's going on as far as construction-wise in Universal right now for HHN. I feel like I can find some, but I'll wait. But yeah, they're pulling out trusses. Obviously, we know all the trusses that are there currently. House facades are getting seen in their progress. People are seeing them, taking pictures of them. We're getting drone shots of them. We're getting, obviously, content creators going in the park and creating content of what's going on day of that they are there. From what I hear, obviously take this with a grain of salt, but is that more physical sets are going to be moved out in the coming weeks. In like a week, 2 weeks, you're going to start seeing more actual sets happening, less of the metal truss work.
Yeah. Quite frankly, they don't have the time to not do it within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. But so pay attention, because I will try to post in the Discord or make videos about the construction that is happening inside of Universal. I can't physically be in the park because I don't live in Orlando, which sucks. Because I would love to make in-park construction videos, but I'll take what I see as far as photos on Twitter, living through other creators as far as that goes, and update you guys either on Discord or, on actual YouTube. But yeah, I've heard in the coming weeks that more things as far as physical sets will come. I'm curious to think, do we think, I want to actually, let me pull this up here. I'm going to pull up the speculation map of Horror Night Nightmares that Horror Night Nightmares put out. Right? We've all seen it. We've all seen the recent one. Well, I guess it's not too recent now. But, oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up real quick. I just want to go over a few things that I think, obviously, we think some things have changed as far as, like, the siren kind of thing going on. So I want to take a look at it again. It's been a while since we talked about it, right? It's been a while since I made a video on it. So this is the speculation map. The one actually from Horror Night Nightmares. Do we think any of this besides, maybe the Krampus becoming sirens? Or, these maybe Vamp 69 switching with Zodiac has changed? Few things I've heard in the wind, right? I've heard in the wind, don't know if it's true. I've heard Carnival of Oddities may actually become a scare zone. I don't know if that's true. But I know at the very least, I don't think it's just going to be, I know a lot of people are scared that Minion Land won't have its own, like, scare zone because it's the first thing that welcomes you into the park when you step into HHN. I've heard through the grapevine, take it with a grain of salt, is that the Carnival of Oddities, even if it is a horde, will still have physical set pieces like a scare zone. So essentially, what are you doing?
I kicked something, sorry.
Essentially, even though it's classified as a horde on the speculation map, I'm seeing more of scare zone vibes, right? If you're pulling out set pieces, things like that, I feel like it's more going towards a scare zone. Like we're getting an Odd Fellow scare zone, But I don't know. It's something I just personally think. Obviously, I don't know what's really going on with Odd Fellow. Jungle still, it's very interesting. A lot of people are tossing around Seeds of Extinction right now. If you know what that is, people are tossing that around with Jungle right now, which is interesting. If we get a Seeds of Extinction scare zone, be very interesting. Don't know if that's true, but it's something people are tossing around. We're from Florida, but we're like 3 hours away from Orlando. We're up by Georgia, so the San Francisco zone area seems to be on and off the most, but Central Park is getting some small hints of what the concept is so far. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what it will be. I know I seen Losh, the guy I did the deep dive with, one of the creators did the deep dive with, put out a video today. Make sure you go and check it out. He's a great guy. But put out a video today about him being in the park and doing some construction updates. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he went to the jungle scare zone and we seen like some trusses that were like swept this way. It's very small trusses that are like curved. Very interesting. I've never really seen that before as far as I know. A truss built like that for HHN. So I'm curious what that is, right? Because the jungle scare zone is very like, it could be anything, right? Like, obviously we have our own concepts, we have our own ideas, but this thing could be anything. Like, they didn't put on a speculation map anything about, like, a specific, like, IP they may be doing, or a specific original, like even a name, like, you know, Carnival of Oddities had. They just have jungle, right? So I'm very curious to see what that is actually announced as, because I feel like it might surprise every single one of us, because honestly, we don't know at the end of the day what it is till Universal confirms it. But that's something interesting. We know Death Eater's got some, you know, construction going on. I talked about this in my video. We might be seeing facade pictures of one of these two here. I don't know which one we're seeing the facade pictures of, but one of these two is what I'm hearing. I mean, obviously it has to be if these are in the sprung tents.
Yeah, and it could very well be either of those, just for the fact that there is an house outside.
And then as far as more changes, I'm hearing Yeti here. I'm hearing Yeti. Like, remember Yeti, the house we got in 29. Was it Terror of the Yukon? Was that what it was called? Yeti Terror on the Yukon. I'm hearing Yeti here now. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's true, but I'm hearing Yeti. Summer Camp Yeti. So that's Bigfoot, but Yeti is what I'm hearing. Again, there's some titles being thrown around of certain house names, and Yeti is one of them. Yeti is this one apparently. Again, I don't know if that's true, but I'm hearing that. Again, I still think Universal Monsters Paris is happening. We know certain ones are confirmed already. I believe, again, this is still going to be Dueling Dragons. The speculated house name that's being thrown around for this one is that Blood Moon thing. Cool. But this is the one I'm interested in, right? Obviously, we know this. This is the one I want to see announcements for. This is the one I want to see what's going on. These two here. This little zone and this little house, right? This is the stuff I want to know about. Death Eaters are already confirmed for me. Yeah, they're coming. They're coming. Death Eaters are coming. That's basically... I won't say confirmed. I will never say confirmed. That's basically, you know, what we all think at this point, right? But as far as I know, like, it's things that could be possibly changing within, as far as, like, logistically, what's going on in scare zones, what's going on in houses, certainly. Some house names being thrown around currently. But we'll see. But as far as I know, possibly, you know, a house announcement maybe Thursday. I don't know off the top of my head. It could be Thursday, could be not Thursday, could be September 1st, right? We'll see. I know Hollywood will be getting something at Midsummer Scream, probably, from John Murdy. So if you're on Hollywood, if you go to HHN Hollywood, frequent Hollywood, cool. You guys are getting some. Don't know what it's going to be. Like I said, I'm not well versed in Hollywood because Orlando's my place to go. But yeah. I mean, we're at a 9:39 my time currently. So like I said, this isn't going to be a long stream. I just wanted to talk about some certain things we were talking about today. Introduce you to the new things we have going on as far as the Spotify playlist, the member joining thing, and the 1K subscriber giveaway that we'll be doing. But anything you want to say to us before we head out? After when work comes early, we enjoy the live stream. Can't wait till next one. Thank you for keeping us updated. Yeah, no, we're dipping out too. I know you guys are enjoying these Sunday live streams, but over under 2.5 hour wait for Stranger Things. All right, I will tell you right now. I'll actually get into this before I close out tonight. If you've never been to HHN before, or even if you have, this is the year. This is the year to get Scream early, right? If you're gonna attend, even if you have frequent fear, like, get Scream early this year. We have The Last of Us and we have Stranger Things. This is going to be the biggest year of Horror Nights we've had in a very long time. Like, I was around in 2018 when Stranger Things first came. That year was massive, right? And even, like, as time goes on, last year was packed with The Weeknd. And, like, I feel like it didn't have as many big names as it does this year, last year. Like, we had Halloween, we had The Weeknd, we had, honestly can't remember anything else. Like, we had some good names there, but this year we have some massive stuff. And so I recommend, I mean, if you can have the money, express if you have the money, frequent fear, so you can go more than once. And if you have the money, I feel like the best option is Scream early. Go stay in Scream area, buy Stranger Things, or buy The Last of Us if they have one. Because yes, over 2.5 hours, I guarantee you, we're gonna be like, maybe, I know opening weekend, Stranger Things is gonna be at least 120 minutes late, right? Maybe second week of September, it'll die down a little bit, but going into like October, Stranger Things and The Last of Us, those two are gonna be packed. Like, honestly, Chucky is gonna be the underappreciated, I feel like, IP. Yeah. You're not gonna see as long of a wait for Chucky. So if you're a big Chucky fan and you're actually going to the event this year because you want to see Chucky, cool. You're probably gonna have a quick queue line. Obviously, I mean, it's not gonna be quick, but it's gonna be less than what Stranger Things and The Last of Us will be. So yeah, I recommend Scream early or Frequent Fear or Express, whatever you can get. Obviously, everyone's financial situation is different, but whatever you can get. Like, it's gonna be a very crowded year. So I'm hoping with these scare zones, from what we've seen in the construction so far, I'm hoping they're spaced out. I'm hoping we get a little bit of movement, especially in San Francisco. If you're bringing sirens or whatever's going on in there, I hope you space it out better, because it's like a conga line, honestly, through San Francisco sometimes. Yeah. So I'm hoping with how popular it's going to be, they might logistically spread some things out. I don't know. We'll see. But it was fun talking to you all tonight. I'm going to end the stream here. Make sure you check out that Spotify playlist and things like that. Link is in the description. Join the Discord. I will drop a link for it right now. Make sure you join the Discord. We talk about stuff there as far as HHN, and we have a whole, if you're not been coming for HHN and you have been here since I began the channel, we do have, you know, a horror section just for like horror movies, TV shows, games, whatever you want to talk about channel, just for talking about that in the Discord as well. So I will drop that in the chat here. Join the Discord. It's fun. It's a great time. If you want to become a member of the channel, awesome. If you don't, your support here is enough. Let's try to get to 1K before we, you know, and each the end of July, right? If there's an announcement this week, I will definitely put out, you know, certain videos. Obviously, I try to make one as fast as possible, depending if I do my day job that day or if I'm actually off that day and able to make a video as soon as the announcement hits. But if we get one this week, I will drop in a video as soon as I can. Usually it'll still be day of, so you won't have to wait that long. But besides that, we will be having more stuff coming out on the channel soon. We are really into the thick of it. Once we're in August, then it's Horror Nights time, baby. Yes. It's time. Like, it is very closely approaching. We have some stuff coming up, more first-timer guides, if that is something you were looking into that we have done before. We're going to have more first-timer guides. We'll have, like I said, that 1K special with our giveaway. If you remember a certain video that we dropped a couple months ago when, I don't even think anything was announced at that point. No, when the static video with the podcaster was dropped, we made a video called The Legendary Truth of HHN, kind of a short film fan series going on. We will have more of that coming out. It's something we want to continue doing. And these live streams we'll also have more of as well. And I'll try to keep you updated on everything HHN as far as I know. I will try to keep, you know, it as real as possible. We are getting fake leaks coming, things like that happen usually around this time of year, when HHN's kind of holding their announcements back. But I will try to cover everything that is legitimate, or, you know, at least okay enough to cover on the channel. So besides that, thank you guys so much for being here and supporting the channel. We will, I didn't want to say this. We will have, I wanted to talk about this because it's something I want everyone, all my subscribers, if you're watching, join on August 30th, 31st, whatever the day before September 1st is. Join that, because we'll be doing a massive live stream trying to build up the hype the day before opening night. It's going to be an HHN 32 Eve live stream. It'll be the same time. Obviously, it's not going to be on a Sunday like these regular ones are. It's going to be on a Thursday. What is the first day of Horror Nights? Friday? Thursday? Whatever. It'll be the day before Horror Nights. So, that's all that matters. We will be covering, we will be generating the hype, because I know that the energy is going to be crazy on that live stream. Who knows what can happen,
it's all gonna be excited and freaking out together.
Yeah, I might twerk, right? I might twerk. Who knows?
I've never even seen that.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like and all that fun stuff if you like HHN. We will have another live stream coming to you soon. Hopefully we get an announcement this week. We'll have one covering that on Sunday as well. But thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And we will see you in the fog, and we will see you in the morgue. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.